Now, in the face of enormous challenges facing the country, 2025 could have been a year to turn the corner. But it also became a year of missed opportunities. Nigeria's National Assembly, for example, failed to deliver on very key reform promises in 2025, despite repeated assurances by its leadership. Proposals for state police, reserved seats for women, and constitutional roles for traditional rulers stalled after public hearings, with most bills failing to reach a vote. Efforts to amend the constitution for state policing did not progress beyond committee level, while the women's seat proposal also lapsed despite concerns over underrepresentation. Electoral Act amendments recorded limited movements, raising questions about preparedness ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now joining us from Virginia in the United States for more on this is the CEO of TAF Africa, Epelle. You're welcome, sir. Good to see you, Mr. Epelle, but you're wearing a head warmer, so I assume you're not in the country. Yeah, that's that's nice.
You got it right. Yes, I'm not, but yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
It's good to see you again, sir. So,
Merry
2025.
Happy New Year.
It's it's on its way out. We're almost done in the next 2 days. Was it such a great year for Nigerians across all ramifications? What would you say?
Well, it depends on one's perspective in description of whether it was a great year or a missed opportunity, like you rightly said. I think it's a mixed bag. There were some certain things that we achieved some iota of greatness, and there were very many things we can be scored very low. And one of them is the political landscape. It's been inundated with all kinds of intrigue, power play, political meandering, melodrama, especially what happened in Rivers State. The economy started, the administration started with policy somersaults. You know, they will make one policy, and in the morning and in the evening, they will notice that that policy is not working, and they would turn it down and find something new. It was almost like random sampling, or those days growing up, we say tumbon boys calabar, So we saw that play out. The promise of lifting the poor from poverty or reducing poverty was one thing that this administration they just couldn't find a way out of it. Nigerians got poorer, although there are a certain segment of people that have made themselves richer, but I'm optimistic that we can move ahead. We
Mr.
can
Epelle,
make progress in 2026.
Mr. Epelle, are you optimistic about security? We're ending the year against the backdrop of U.S. bombing ISIS locations in Sokoto and a very controversial tax law as well. So these are two issues that are on people's minds as we close the year. The tax law, which nobody's absolutely sure about, and then our fraternity with America when it comes to insecurity and the bombing of insurgents. So would you say that we've done well when it comes to security? And would you say that we're on our way to having a better tax reform for 2026 with the tax reform that we're expecting come the next 2 days?
No, in terms of security, we haven't done well at all. How can you describe us doing well when students are being adopted, when travelers are being adopted, when these terrorists that this government and previous government refuse to name them what they are, and that's terrorists. They bought into this nonsensical ideology of saying, oh, they're doing it because of poverty, and all that. And they were just killing people, making life very difficult for people. So in terms of security, we are literally under the 20s. When I mean in terms of percentage, we couldn't even score 20%. Anyway, the point is, I think the current Minister of Defense will do a good job if he's given the opportunity to really work, because Christopher is a professional to the core and a man of principle. And I think he would do better in terms of America coming to bomb us. America didn't come to bomb us. America came to bomb terrorists. And that's what they are. And that's what they deserve. You know, they came to help us. They worked with Nigerian government. It wasn't them trying to come
It
into
wasn't an invasion like most people are touting it to be.
No,
Mr. Epelle,
no.
What about the reforms we're expecting in the next 2 days?
Well, the tax issue, Mazino, I think I would avail you the contact, and I will also go out of the way to speak with Professor Oyedele to come on your show and explain, because this issue of tax and VAT and all that has been taken out of context. They are making it look like they're trying to politically weaponize it. It's not as bad as what people are saying, because I engage Oyedele myself, especially when I was pushing for inclusive tax reform, you know, and it's a very good document, which, by the way, is there any citizen who is so irresponsible that he doesn't want to pay tax? I pay tax. I pay tax. I pay tax. And,
Epelle,
you know, despite that I'm running an NGO.
You've touched on the main issue here, and it's an issue of communication or a sheer lack of it.
Exactly.
So if the people don't get to understand it, then, well, this is what you get. But let's move on from that, sir. Let's talk about the National Assembly. However rubber stamped they might be, as people have queried, they made plenty of promises, but we didn't see much of them come through. How deep is the impact of some of these key reforms that we've missed in 2025, especially the reserved seats bill for women?
Look, Marcelo, I'm not going to make, although I was saying I'm not going to make comparison, but I have to. I think the arm of the National Assembly that has come to the rescue, that have actually rescued democracy, is the House of Rep. The Senate hasn't done much, even though there are political heavyweights in the Senate that I so respect. You know, there are very good people in the Senate that I doff my heart for, but I think the system sort of like it's kind of closed them up, shut their mouth, shut their capacity to express, to work, and provide laws that is meaningful and impactful. You know, the House of Rep, contrary, had done some very good work with the constitution reforms, with the Electoral Act or bill, with even the issue of women and all that. The Speaker and the Deputy Speaker have consistently, they've been very consistent in their support for that bill. But here's the thing, that is what we see in the public. What happened in the private is a different kettle of fish. And the National Assembly have not done absolutely well. Although, like I said, I exonerate the House of Rep because of several good work. And I'm telling you because I have been part of some of the bill advocacy and all that. You know, the House of Rep have done a very good job, and I think Senate needs to learn from that and become a bit more proactive and help us to ensure that democracy will thrive.
All right, Mr.
Right
Epelle,
now.
Ms. Epelle, my final question, I'm hoping that you'll answer this in, well, less than a minute, if you don't mind, but let's talk about dissent. Protests have been the only means for which the people have been able to express their, well, displeasure when it comes to what the government, what the lack of governance. How do you see this happening in 2026? Will there be more ear given to the people, or do you think we'll see more cases of protests and dissent?
You know, Masino, you asked a very intelligent question, and I doff my hat for you. It's one part of the conversation that I raised with another channel about the emergence of new voices, especially within the civil society space. You know, and so you're going to see more of diplomatic engagement, diplomatic advocacy than the going into the street and protesting. And I don't have any problem with that because it's the right of the people to protest. But there's going to be a change. There's going to be a switch where you have people like me and several others engage diplomatically, talk to the person that we want to confront instead of just open confrontation, and still get even better results than just putting lives at stake, asking people to go into the street and all that. Many times the people that call for those strikes are never there at the forefront. There are very few that are at the forefront, but most of them are never there at the forefront. And so we will find that innocent life will die. Can we re-strategize? Strategy is better than energy. You know, can we re-strategize and look towards, you know, diplomatic engagement where you're engaging the person that you feel is in position to do the things you want and get results. I've done that over the years and I've gotten meaningful results. I'm a person with albinism. I cannot go into the sun. It takes me 10 minutes to burn. So you can't put me out in the sun and say I'm protecting. So I have to find a better way to engage and get better results. And trust me, I have gotten better results. You know, I can imagine if I carry placard and say Kayode and his team at New Central, your media is not inclusive. If I was doing that, it wouldn't give me the opportunity that I have right now. I have to engage Kayode. I have to engage people like you.
We wouldn't want to see you burn, Mr. Epelle. Let's keep you out of the sun. But, Mr. Epelle, thank you very much for joining us.
No, keep me out of the cold.
You're getting tired. Well, do be on the way back. Just remember to bring us all cookies. Thank you very much, Mr. Epelle.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.